my head cam is ready. I put it in my pocket and went to my machine and measured the tracks. As I'm measuring the tracks, and that's why I always say never order permits before you see the actual machine. Like, how many times do I promise myself that, and each time I fall for this trap because everybody's in a rush. They told me it was 11 feet 9 inches wide. 11.9. Guess how wide it is? 12.6. 150 inches. And I know why. They were not wrong, but they didn't see the actual machine. So they went by the specs online, and this is a 450 John Deere. I moved one of these when I was with Premium guys, right, in Ontario. I think I moved it with my Mac, but I don't remember it was 450 or 430 or 410 or something, but I remember it was 92,000 pounds. Now they're claiming that this one is 102, and I just ordered maximum. You know, basically it's only, I'm in Ohio, so I only need Ohio, Michigan, and Ontario, because this is a you know, heavier. It's heavier than, I'm just looking at the guy. He's doing something with the tracks over there. I'm not sure what. Because we have a problem. I cannot load. More about that in a second. So it's too heavy for my annual permit. What I'm trying to say is that on 8 axles, even with a Jeep, it's too heavy. You need a single trip permit for Ontario. You know, they only give you so much weight. In my case, 71,000 kgs, 156,000 pounds that I can do on 8 axles. And then with the Jeep and the quad in the back, they don't care if you have a booster or not. They give you lots of weight in Ontario. So with the Jeep, I'm good for 78,000 kgs, which is 171 or 172,000 pounds. You do the math, right? And so it's heavier than that, like my gross weight. Again, if it's really 1 or 2, because you can never trust dimensions, you know. So guys and gals, do yourself a favor and never ever order permits before you see the actual load. And ideally you want to go, you just order the first state, you know, so that you can go to a scale. You order your first state or your first province, so you can find a scale, and then you scale it, because, you know, permit, like, as I'm measuring, and it's 12.6, my phone beeps and I see 2 messages. Usually it takes like 2 days, 1 day, right? I ordered the permits yesterday late night, and I guess they like me or something. My phone shows I have Ohio permit and Michigan permit. And of course I ordered them for 11.11. You see, again, I did not trust them. They said 11.9. I ordered for 11.11. It's still wider than that. Son of a gun. So I called them. I called my permit company. I said, can we revise the width? Like, I'm not even concerned too much about the weight and the height, because for Ohio I ordered maximum, which is 20 on the front, 60 on the lift and drives, and 92 in the back on a 2+2, because they allow up to 50 on a tandem. But my axles are rated for 23, so that's all I can do is 46 and 46, basically 92, which is great, right? And my plan was to try to load it more to the rear. And so I talked to my permit broker, and they said Michigan definitely cannot be revised. You have to order a new one, but Michigan is only 50 bucks. I said, what about Ohio? I look at the price. Ohio, just to get from here, I'm near Springfield. To get to Michigan, they charge 350 bucks US. And she said, well, I'll try to send them a message, but usually they don't like, you know, revisions. Usually you have to order a new one. And I said, okay. I said, what about Ontario? She says, oh, I just send it off by fax. I said, Ontario, I'm pretty sure they can revise it, because Ontario takes 2-3 days. They put you in a queue, so it's not like they already issued a permit. So the lady promised to call Ontario, so I'm not worried about Ontario. And Ontario is also expensive. Ontario is about 250, 300, but Canadian. So the most expensive is Ohio. So anyway, and then I talked to my freight broker. I said, I'm sorry, but if you know, I don't feel good about driving with such, you know, especially Ohio. Ohio are sticklers for measurements. Like if I'm stopped at a scale and they measure, you know, that's it. All, you know what they do? They just the practice in Ohio is if your measurements are wrong, step one, they void your permit. So now you don't have a permit. So then they give you a ticket for driving without a permit, which to me is such a stupid, you know, arrangement. I did have a permit, right? But if measurements are wrong, that's what they don't give you a ticket for wrong dimensions. They give you a ticket for driving without a permit because they just took it away from you, right? So it's such a, I'm telling you, I feel very bad. It's not fair. It's a very unfair system where they take your permit and then they fine you for not having the permit. You just took my freaking permit. But anyway, so Ohio is scary. You want to have all your ducks in a row in Ohio, what I'm trying to say. And so I talked to my broker, and the broker says, yeah, that's a big difference. Well, if you need to reorder them, I'll definitely compensate you. And I said, okay. And so I just sent an email to the permit company. I said, okay, I talked to the freight broker. Freight broker says it's fine. Please reorder. Basically, change the width. Change the width for all permits to 12.6. And what did I order for height? Let me see. I forgot. What did I order? I know I ordered quite a lot. Even though they told me, oh, I think I ordered for 13.11. Even though they told me it was like 11.6, which I don't believe in for one instant. A 450 John Deere 11.6. It's probably more like 12.2, 12.3, but we'll see. I'll try to curl the bucket. And so you saw the machine, but so that's one problem. Right, so never, ever, ever order permits unless you can feel the machine with your dirty little hands. Okay? And that's punishment to me. Like, I'm saying this all the time, and each time, you know, oh, you know, when can you load, you know, when can you deliver? They always push you, right? But this time, it's a 72-hour rule. So and they ordered this, I think, Friday, so I'm not even sure. I think I can I'll check my paperwork. Like basically I have to wait to cross anyway, so I should have waited with the permits. But anyway, so now that's taken care of. So the customer will pay for supplying wrong dimensions, right? That's always the rule. They supply wrong dimensions, fine. You know, I'm still sitting next to my trailer. The machine is in its spot. I just found it. I disconnected from the trailer because I need to flip the neck. And that's why I went to the machine, so I can drive in front of the trailer and flip the neck. And then I see this. As they say in Alabama, that don't look good. So I took pictures. You know, it's like amazing, right? Like these phones, imagine if this was like old times when you had to have a camera and then you had to, like a digital camera, right? Or no, let's say if this was like back in the day where we didn't have digital cameras and we didn't have camera phones. Imagine you have to take, like, how do you have to call the broker and try to explain to him what's happening. And then if you had a film camera, right, you have to take pictures, then develop the film, make prints, scan them, find a computer or a fax machine. Jeez, like the technology nowadays. So basically I took my iPhone 7, snapped a few pictures from 2 angles as you saw, and emailed them to the broker, because of course I have internet, right? So it's like a camera with always on internet. You gotta appreciate that, and I do appreciate that, you know, because you know I grew up with black and white TV, so I still wonder sometimes about this. So I really appreciate this technology. So I emailed pictures to the broker right away. I said I don't feel comfortable driving this because this looks like it's about to fall off, you know. And as soon as the guy received it, of course, because now we have all this forwarding and stuff like that, he right away he forwarded the email to his customer, the buyer of this machine, who sits in Ontario. And I see a pickup, and 2 minutes later, 5 minutes later, as I'm thinking I'm stuck here, I see a pickup truck, Ford 350 diesel. I saw it was sitting at the check-in house, you know, at the gatehouse. The guy pulls in and he's on the phone, and I point to the machine. I walked over there. I point to the machine and I said, the counterweight is about to fall off. And he says basically, hold on, give me a second. And then he's talking on the phone, and I realize that he's talking to the buyer. See, I sent pictures. The freight broker sent pictures to this guy, and I was sending them updates. You know, I said I'm leaving the truck stop, and then arrived. The shipper's 35 miles away, because I slept just north of Dayton, and I guess he was sending these updates to the buyer, and so the buyer is aware that the truck is at the shipper ready to load. And I guess he was, you know, he was not sleeping. And he got on the horn right away and talked to the guy over here, and right away the guy drove in here. And then when he hung up, I said, so what are the chances you guys can fix this? And he says, well, what he told the buyer, I heard him talking, he says, this thing has a hydraulic counterweight. So there's bolts, but the bolts, as you saw, the bolts have this huge gap. It looks like they just sitting, only like a couple of threads are in, you know, like really dangerous. But he says this thing has a hydraulic counterweight, and so he says what needs to happen is they have to lift it, like, you know, at the top there's 2 eyes, right? So you need a big, you need either another excavator or a small crane or a big loader, and you have to lift it, because he says it has to go back in some, you know, spot there in the locking position, because now it came out of that little pocket where it's supposed to sit somewhere, and so now it's only being held by the bolts. And of course you cannot tighten the bolts when this thing is like this, you know, so you have to lift it, put it back, put it tight against the machine, and then screw the bolts in. So it's never easy, you know, it's never easy. That's why some people hate loading. I remember talking to a friend of mine who runs an independent company, and he says he hates moving used equipment because, well, some good news. Just got an email from my permit broker. Ohio agreed to revise the original permit for $50. So they did not charge the full amount of $350 US. So only $50, because it's the permit number is still the same. So that's what I'm gonna put on my invoice for the customer. I'm gonna ask him for this $50 back, and then of course Michigan will be $50, because that's the original permit and they don't do revisions, so you have to order a new one. So they will have to pay extra $100. Actually, wait, that's US, so 130 Canadian. So that's what we're gonna add. And nothing's happening at the machine, so I'm still sitting. 10:45. Well, it's 11:07. 2 minutes ago a guy showed up from some Dayton tractor and crane company, and it's international truck, but you know, it's like a not one of those tiny baby Ford 350 550, but like a real 10-ton truck with tandem axles in the back, and he has a crane, but it's a very small crane. I'm not sure he can lift 20,000 pounds, but oh, he's leaving. No, he's just repositioning the truck to get to that boom. Oh, it's cold. What's the temperature now? +4. That's not too bad. 277 Kelvin. I'm guessing 34, 35 F. So yeah, the guy had to push it somehow. Basically, he says it would not fall off because it has cylinders in there. It has hydraulic cylinders. But he says he didn't know that, so he says you made a good call, because he says if it comes off, and of course it's not gonna go far, right? Because this thing would be sitting on my trailer. But he says if that piece, you know, like 20,000 pounds of this, or maybe it's probably even more because it's a 450 John Deere. But if that thing would fall off, you know, when the machine is on my trailer, it can really damage the beams, because you know, so much weight, right? And it's sitting probably around like 8 feet height. Imagine that mass drops down, and then of course, you know, you're driving and it slides off. It can kill a lot of people, cause a lot of damage. So it would be really irresponsible. So you know, as they say at airports, you know, if you see something, say something, you know. So I wasn't comfortable with that. It didn't seem right. I never saw, and actually the guy who showed up from the shipper, he says on the phone, he says, yeah, I never saw something like this either. And me neither. I never saw a counterweight being loose like that, you know. But again, the good news is that it's hydraulic counterweight, so it's sitting on cylinders there. So chances of that one falling off completely were pretty small. It didn't look good, and actually I think if I were to load like that, you know, I might get in trouble with the DOT. You know, if somebody stops me, like DOT officials, they don't know, right? They don't know the excavators, like they're not mechanics. The guy would look at it and he'd say, hey, that's not right, you know? Because I remember once a guy stopped, I was at a scale somewhere, and there was a dry van trailer. And you know, some of these dry van trailers, actually most of them, the walls are pretty thin, and it's all plastic. It's not even like metal, right? There's a metal frame in there. But so this guy had this dry van trailer, and the sides were kind of like blown out, you know, as if somebody pumped, you know, high pressure air, and the sides were like this. And the cop stopped him. He says that doesn't look right, you know, fix it. He would not allow him to leave, you know. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, like I'm glad that he's fixing it. I hope that the bolts are not, you know, the thread is still okay, because it looked like he had trouble. Like he tightened the left one. There's 2 huge bolts, and he's using a you know, like a pneumatic wrench. But the one on the right, I saw he took it out with his hands, and he was just trying to thread it in. So I hope he can do it. But so time now 11:22. So I've been here since when I checked in. I think it was 11:30. I mean 8:30. Good news, 11:49 a.m. The mechanic is finished. It was not as easy as just tightening the bolts. He had to call another guy to help him, because he had to be on the top doing something with the crowbar over there, while the other guy was tightening the bolts. So just one guy, it was impossible. So how do I move that one? I remember there was like a flip switch, you know, on the other machines. Yeah, you see, this is just regular stuff, right? How do you... the lever for that? You know, it should be something, right? Like, how do you... Because yeah, I won't be able to fold the bucket properly, you know. That drives. See, I'll have to ask somebody. I remember, yeah, I had an excavator like this, and there was a button, like a separate switch, on one of the joysticks where you can flip that thing up and down.
I'm just got checked out, but I went about probably a couple of kilometers on the dirt road, so this is a good good timing to make sure the chains are tight. Yeah, the machine feels very heavy, and as you can see, it's extremely dirty. And I'm just about and I just have about enough time to go through Dayton. So I have 12 chains, 6 in the back, 6 in the front. Because it's so wide, I gotta make sure that it's immobilized. So I need this Highway 40 right here because I have to jump on it later on, but they don't want me to go on 40 from here. I think, yeah, there's lights there. It's a residential area, so I'm gonna go back the way I came. Which is where this guy is coming from. So I gotta follow my permit, right? Like, people always bug me about my GPS, like, how do you find your route? 99% of the time I have an oversized load, right? So I don't need a GPS. Well, when I'm empty, right? When I'm empty, I need it. But when I'm loaded, just right now, I asked him, I told him, I said, yeah, 54 to 70 west to 75 north, and Ohio DOT says no.
In 600 meters, turn left onto Ohio 54 north.
Yeah, see, now it found it. And so Ohio DOT says no, have to do this. So 70 west, and then exit 62. 40 US 40 west, and then there's a highway called Ohio 235. I take that one like southwest, and I catch 70 again. Why? Because actually I know why, because I was driving this morning and I saw a lot of construction, a lot of construction. It's narrow. There's these my favorite concrete barriers on both sides. So I'm going to my favorite truck stop. With a load like this, you know, 12.6 wide, jeez. It's not gonna be easy. But I got flags everywhere. I didn't turn on my lights. But I see that, yeah, I'm probably, I don't know, I hope I'm not over 60, you know? On the pusher and drives. The girl was driving the blue Jeep. She smiled at me. Not sure why. Probably she liked my my truck. So yeah, a load like this, I should have brought my Jeep, you know, but with the Jeep, then you definitely need the pilots. I thought I would save, you know, a little bit of money, but then you see, basically as soon as you're over 100,000 pounds, like my paperwork said, 102,560 pounds. So what I'm saying is that once you're over 100,000 on my trailer, like if this was a 55 ton, I would be in a better shape. But this sucker, you know, like my empty weight with this long neck and booster, 4-axle truck, tandem trailer and tandem booster. My empty weight is about 65,000. And so you add 102,
Turn left onto the I-70 West ramp.
you know, 102, so 167. But actually I asked for, how much did I ask for? I think I asked for way more than that, because I said, yeah, give me 20 on the front, 60 on the
Continue on I-70 West for 40 kilometers.
I really don't like breaking the trailer, you know, like at a sharp angle, because I'm afraid to break that booster again. And so yeah, my Ohio permit, I said give me 20 on the steer, 60 on the lift and drives. Hold on one second. Yeah, that was my broker. He was asking me what truck stop I'm gonna be at, because I told him we need to wash this machine. I said it would be cool if your customer would you know, organize a mobile wash and send it tomorrow morning to my truck stop. And I guess I forgot to say Petro, so he just called me. He says, which truck stop? Because there's Petro, there's Love's in there, right? So I told him, because Petro is much bigger, so he says he'll pass it along to his customer. Yeah, so now I'm just following oh yeah, that red dot, actually, that's the Highway 235. But I cannot go like this, so now, just in a couple of miles, actually, I think it's next exit. Exit 62. I'm jumping on US 40. Yeah, this machine, it reminds me, it's exactly like the one I moved from New York State, near Buffalo. I moved this humongous John Deere. I think it was like this, but I remember the weight was 92,000 pounds, you know. But it was very wide, and back I had a Mack, and I had my 4-axle Fontaine. But with that one, I was only 53,000 pounds, you know? Oh yeah, 62. So my empty weight with 4 axles and with the same truck was 53,000. And so of course 53 and 92, you know, my gross weight was much lighter. And I just went to Buffalo, crossed the border. But still, it was scary because so much of the track was, like, pretty much half of the track is sitting on my outrigger boards, and that's why I put on so many chains. And I'm just going super slow, so 91 km an hour, 56 miles per hour, because this thing is a monster. And time now is 3 minutes to 4. Son of a gun, I really need to get through Dayton. And it's not gonna be easy because they're sending me on these small roads. It would be, of course, it would be much faster if I could stay on 70, but there's construction. I cannot go there. Alright, so now we just need to find 40 West. I think it should be, I should turn right over here.
300 meters, keep left at the fork to continue toward I-70 West.
Oh, it's a nice ramp. Okay.
Keep left at the fork.
No, nobody's keeping left at anywhere. We're just going straight. Miss Google.
Keep left.
All right, give me a recount. Give me a.
US 40 West, then turn left onto Center Street.
Yeah, I cannot be in the right lane over here. The car's parked on the.
Next left onto Center Street, then turn right onto High Street.
Okay, shut up. So now we're just following this US 40. I'm not sure for how many miles, but this thing should be able to find it. Yeah, okay. It's 32 kilometers. you talking about? Oh, it's sending me on some crazy Highway 4. It's trying to do whatever it wants. It just doesn't want me to go on US 40 all the way there. And that's why sometimes it's just, you know, instead of fighting it, I just turn off the volume and that's it. At least today was not that cold, you know. It was relatively easy to load. I became so hot actually that I had to take off my warm jacket, and I was just wearing my one jacket, whereas before I had two. This is Springfield. Ducks are swimming in the water like there's no tomorrow. Unbelievable. Oh my. I can see up ahead a bunch of lights. But I gotta get out of Dayton. А я еду за туманом, и за запахом тайги. walls on the right side. It's very close to the road. No shoulder. It's a perfect route for a 12.6 wide load. I like it. People are afraid to pass me. Come on, your car is what? 4 feet wide? Why are you afraid? See, now I stop like this. The edge of my track is on the white line that separates the lanes. And so yeah, they cannot pass me. I'm sorry. It's not my fault, it's John Deere's fault. Like, why are you making track so wide, right? And actually there's a pin. I think I mentioned this, I don't know. There's a pin in there. The pin that secures the tracks. I saw there was a bunch of like 3 pins in a row right under the house on each side. And I could see that there was one extra hole they could have moved the tracks, you know, more narrow. But nobody's gonna do it because you need a crane. You need a crane for that. Because I didn't see. Yeah, they did this on that excavator actually. That the 92,000 pounds from New York. I remember they did this over there, I think. No, maybe not. But I know it's a lot of work. Oh wow, check this guy. I thought I was wide. Well, if these guys are driving over here, then I'm in good hands. As long as I don't hit this guy over here. Somebody already hit him twice, I think. Thing I fixed my brakes. All right, what do I have? 25 kilometers, but that's not right. How do I? Yeah, no, fuck. Why am I going on 68? See, it doesn't wanna send me on US 40. Come on. We are back. I guess it's because of it's going through downtown or something. Oh, okay. It found it. But yeah, the road doesn't look very good over there. Son of a gun. Ohio is always, you know, I find that Ohio is never easy. Each time I had a load recently from Ohio, they send me on these slow roads, and I thought this time, hey, I'm just off I-70, like loading, you know, 30 miles away from Dayton. Like, how bad can it be? And they sent me here. very big dip in here. Like, I hope my excavator will not decide to go into the ditch. So that's why this thing didn't want me to go in here, because this is pretty much, I guess, downtown or something. But it's pretty wide. Oh, check this out. So now I can be in this lane. Yeah, that's what I wanted me to go for. No, wait. Uh-oh. It's like a hill. I hope I don't catch it, but no, it should be good. Yeah, I raise my neck. I think I'm in position 4. There's so much weight. Yeah, 40 west. Well, that's how they want me to go. What am I supposed to do? Going to be this very sharp turn. First it goes left and then it goes right. There's a big hospital in here, Springfield Medical Center. Green. Alright, I see, like in a short while, if you go straight, you're on Highway 4. But if you go a little bit to the right, that's where I have to go. I have to take the exit for US 40. Because yeah, I see right now, it's the one highway, like two highways are in one direction, right? 40 and 4. A cat was sitting on top of the Jeep Wrangler. It had a tarpaulin roof, and I guess it was warm or something, so the cat was sitting on the tarpaulin roof licking its face. No, wait a second, it cannot lick its face. I think it was licking its legs or something, or maybe worse. All right, yeah, okay, this way. I gotta keep an eye for US 40. Okay, yeah, I don't need this one. So then 40 west, exit half a mile. All right. And of course we have a red light. Oh wow, we cleared the bridge. Unbelievable. All right, I think now it found it. I can turn the volume back on. Still no. What the heck? Check this out. It doesn't want me to go on US 40. Why is that? And yeah, I don't like it when, you know, there's a red light and you have a heavy load and it's a hill. It's gonna take me forever to just clear the intersection. Let's see, how's my aim with mailboxes today? I'm a little bit closer, a little bit closer. No, I don't know. The last one looked pretty promising, but I missed it. I missed it, guys. I'm sorry. I need more training.
In 200 meters, take the US 40 West exit toward Donaldsonville.
Where? Here?
Take the US 40 West exit.
What a stupid junction. Check this out. You can go this way or you can go that way. Oh, it's the same. All right.
Continue for 13 kilometers.
Like I said, never a dull moment in Ohio with the oversized load.